This digital story will set you on a path to reflect on collaborative practices for learning, why they are important, the pedagogy around collaboration, and how to go about effectively using these tools to improve student outcomes and set them up for their place in the connected world. What is collaboration for learning? By definition, this implies cooperation between learners. Traditionally, classrooms have not been seen to be cooperative when it comes to learning, but rather a competitive environment with students competing against one another to learn, remember, produce, and regurgitate information to attain a higher mark than their peers. Collaborative learning has come into its own and as a 21st century tool for supporting learning and skill necessary for life. Because content is readily available, working together to problem solve and design effective solutions is more important than knowing. Even though students can have different personality types and prefer different learning styles, research indicates cooperative structures and learning activities foster higher achievement, more interpersonal skills, and promotes the development of problem-solving skills. How can teachers use collaborative teaching and learning strategies more effectively? The design of effective collaboration activities and the development of student skills in collaborative work does not come naturally. Students have to be taught collaborative skills, and teachers have to understand the pedagogy behind collaborative practices and develop skills in choosing effective digital tools to facilitate the aims of the collaborative task. The design of teaching strategies and practices related to collaboration is instrumental to achieve positive educational outcomes. It was interesting to note that after some professional learning at my school, the majority of teachers, in my context, had grasped the concept that a rich collaborative task was different to group work in that the task had to be a challenging problem, unable to be completed individually, and the success of the task depends on participants substantially contributing to the design of the solution and their skills at cooperative problem solving. This led to the first problem, that was the design of a suitable task was very time consuming. There were significant advantages to collaborative work. All agreed that a well-designed task produced a rich level of learning and a large amount of creative data that was available for all students to access. However, it was hard work to produce a task of this caliber. Most teachers would like to incorporate more collaborative learning into their lessons, but felt they did not have the time to design these lessons. They were worried about participation and accountability issues and were vague about how to teach the skills students needed to collaborate effectively. The most popular online collaborative tools were Padlet and Verso and Google Docs. However, these were only used by a handful of teachers. The collaborative tools available through the school's online learning management system were underutilized or used for communication purposes only. From these preliminary investigations, I identified 4 areas that solutions are needed for. The first one was a framework or checklist for designing an effective collaborative activity. The second one was that teachers really need to be clear on the collaborative skills that students need. The third issue is that teachers need to be efficient in collaboration. They need to know how to collaborate, how to teach collaboration, and they need to model it. And the fourth one is that they need to recognize the digital tools that makes collaboration easier and how these collaborated tools can be used to foster authentic learning situations. Collaboration is an effective pedagogical technique for improving students' learning outcomes. In fact, there is much literature written about it. Collaboration is a pedagogical approach and a learning theory. Collaborative learning strategies find foundation with the social constructiveness theory. This is a cognitive theory that emphasizes the collaborative nature of learning, where students construct their knowledge in relation to the social context of their learning environment. The development of the internet has led to a particular form of constructiveness teaching called online collaborative theory. The development of the internet and digital age has resulted in two phenomena that has driven the development of this method of learning. They are that content and therefore knowledge is widely available, making communicating and problem solving together a highly valued skill. Secondly, students are now able to collaborate with a wider network of people, and much learning and online activity relies on collaborative skills. This has advanced the idea of the group and the nature of working together. The 21st Century Learning Design Program, developed by Microsoft Education, outlines 4 levels of collaborative work, ranging from informal collaboration to a shared responsibility, a substantive decision-making, and a truly independent learning activity. If teachers understand these levels and the value of each level for different task requirements, they can equip their students with skills to participate in effective collaborative activities. Collaboration must be facilitated and guided by the teacher. Teachers must be designers of the package. The teacher's role in supporting and managing the learning process of collaboration and the sharing of knowledge was invaluable. Facilitation by a teacher is necessary. Therefore, in classroom activities and online homework activities, teachers should pose questions that provoke thinking and investigation and give feedback to direct the discussion. Knowledge and skills are needed by teachers as well as modelling to provide effective collaborative learning experiences. It is important for teachers to have skills in designing cooperative learning activities. Research into ways teachers can facilitate effective collaborative activities include employing strategies for participation, accountability, and evaluation, as well as focusing on higher order questions and complex problems to be solved. It is also important for teachers to be aware of the pitfalls of collaborative practice and methods to avoid these. They may include lack of specific goals or direction and low order responses because of poor task design. Investigation shows 4 different levels or styles of collaborative. Effective collaboration occurs when learners work together to achieve results or outcomes that are too complex to do on their own or that they could not do well on their own. The different levels of collaborative work with varying degrees of stakes for the contributors include Level 1, which is informal collaboration. This is where the learners seek assistance or information from others, students or teachers, to benefit their work. An example would be a brainstorming session either in the class or online, where students can contribute ideas and give feedback to each other. These types of activities can be used to teach students practices of collaborative activity, such as responding respectfully, language conventions, analysis skills of students' work, and making comment to a specific criteria. Level 2 is where students share responsibility for a joint outcome. Learners must collectively own the work and be mutually responsible for its outcome. The creation of a Google document or a wiki page is an example. Level 3 involves substantive decision making, when the group makes decisions that shape the goals, the processes, or the products of the group's work. They work out the topic, the questions, the way they will investigate any issues, and the end product of this work. They assign tasks, roles, and decision making to various members of the group. Peer evaluation, accountability, equal contribution, and some dependence on group members is required. The design of the outcome is solely up to the group decision. Blogs, wikis, forums, collab docs are useful tools when working on this type of project. Level 4 is true interdependent learning work. Learners' individual parts must work together to form an overarching story or coherent whole. These 4 levels can be seen as a hierarchy where teachers are working towards achieving Level 4 style collaborative tasks, but Level 1 tasks have their place in developing collaborative skills. It is here that they will practice giving and receiving feedback, writing skills and questioning skills. In Level 4, the higher order skills of analysing, evaluating, creating are developed through the collaborative activities. By knowing the levels of collaboration, teachers can work through teaching collaborative skills. Firstly, begin with synchronous activities where students are working in the same time frame and the same area. Teachers need to model to students and monitor their responses. You can then move to asynchronous responses where they can respond in their own time at home, once they know the correct way to do that. Secondly, give students a framework to work for. This provides often security and confidence when making their contributions public. A set of questions: who, what, when, where, how, and why. It gives them something to answer and respond to. And number 3, know the tools that you are using and what skills they can assist your students with. Don't use a wiki if all you want to do is have students practice contributing. And don't use a chat seam or a social stream if you want students to really have interdependence on each other for their learning. There is a large variety of online tools that assist with and allow collaborative work. Some of them are useful for the low levels of collaboration, and others are suitable for Level 4, where students are learning and creating independently. I have grouped these online tools into 3 categories based on levels of collaboration required. The 3 categories are posting, discussing, and developing. Posting tools. Let's look at some of the examples and how you can use this with your students. Posting tools allow students to write a comment in response to a question or ask a question. Posting tools are good for getting students to practice the skills of online communication, being concise, accurate spelling, respectful language and format. It is most successful when students post opinions rather than researched content, because that can often be copied. Teacher guidance with the style of questions will assist students to gain skills of formulating their thoughts. One of the greatest examples is Padlet. Padlet, often called a graffiti wall, allows students to post sticky notes that other students can see. The notes have to be concise. It can be a free-form design on the wall or a stream in order of posting. Pictures can be posted as well as text. Names are applied to the note and the teacher can accept or reject the post. Polls and surveys allow information to be gathered and displayed to the class. It is an easy way of easing students into making their thoughts public or sharing their thoughts with the class to be included in a group decision. Chats or social streams are very much like texting and email, except you are delivering the information to a group rather than an individual. These are good for teaching students respect, communication skills, and accountability. Discussion tools. Discussion tools move up a level because they allow more interaction between users. These tools are able to group ideas together, and students get practice in using these tools to assist with the formulation of their own idea. These tools can also be used in the classroom to simulate a discussion, or out of the classroom, which is asynchronous, that is anywhere or anytime. Verso is a very adaptable tool that allows teachers to post articles, questions, videos, then have students reply and comment on other replies. It provides statistics to the teacher to assist with contributions, wait time, and appropriateness. It also has the ability for students to post anonymously, thus allowing them not to be intimidated by the opinions of others. Forums are a step up from a chat or a social stream. They allow students in the group to use ideas posted by one student to create another idea or thread, which can then stimulate further discussion. Forums give students practice at organising their thoughts around a topic and then using collaboration to expand their ideas into another topic. Blogs are a medium to publish your work. They provide an avenue for students to critically think and present work for a wider audience. Blogs have a comment feature, therefore students are exposed to others reflecting on their writing. It enables students to practice publishing for comment and reshape their writing in light of the comments. Developing together tools. The tools for developing together allow students to post, discuss, comment, give feedback, and more importantly, design, develop, and create an environment or product through working together. With developing tools, all students in the group have substantial control over the product, process, or content, and are interdependent on everyone's contribution for the success of the project. Students must have the skills to write, communicate, give and receive feedback, think critically, and contribute ideas for the greater good of the project. Wikis are used by a group to create content on a shared page. The wiki content can be viewed and revised by all members of the group. Only one revision can be done at a time, but contributors can see who and when the revision was done. It promotes skills of analysis, reflection, and justification. Collaborative documents have sort of taken over from wikis because the extra element they add is that it allows simultaneous revisions of content, so students can see who are writing and what they are writing in real time. It allows instant feedback and is transformative in that it takes the classroom into the cyber world, providing learning at any time. Minecraft is an online world where students collaborate to set up living arrangements and interact to make decisions about their world. Another platform like this is Second World. They collaborate in the cyber world just like they would in the real world. Chats, polls, collaborative documents, building projects are all able to be done in Minecraft. It is important to have a scaffold for students when setting collaborative online tasks. This slide outlines some points that teachers should consider to guide their students in more reflective, collaborative posts. It is important not to ask students to comment on others' work, but they should have a scaffold to select a topic. The next areas of describing, analysing and evaluating work through the Bloom's taxonomy to gradually work up to a more higher order thinking. So teachers should design a collaborative activity to practice collaboration skills by asking students to describe certain things with what, where, when and who, then to analyse by asking why and how, and then frame evaluation questions. The creative part, the transformation, is when you ask students to design, create, develop activities, comments or opinions, and other students then comment on it. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time talking you through the collaborative learning tools that are available on our school's learning management system. You can see here that I've got a list up of 9 collaborative tools that you can download onto your home page. This is done by clicking the plus sign, which will open up this tab here. The first of them are the chat and the social stream. Either of these can be added onto your home page. They both basically, though, serve the same purpose. They are collaborative in the sense that the group members from your class can chat and respond to each other, but it is very much a linear way of just basically giving information to students. You can post a question and have students answer it. Students can respond to other students' responses, but it's not a way that's really used in extensive form. It is more just for posting information, the chat and the social stream. Over here is what we have called the forum. Now, the forum is a discussion forum where students can post information or post answers to a question that you have posed. But the good thing about the forum is that if they post an answer that picks up on another thread or another particular idea, and students want to respond to that idea, they can respond to that response and start another thread, rather than having to respond to the very initial question that you posed. So students can then see the different threads available of information stemming from whatever students have posted. It's a good tool to use if you want ongoing discussion about a particular topic over a number of days or weeks, and that topic can then form information which maybe students would use in a task together. These two groups here, the group members and the group managers, enable you to divide your class into groups and have a group manager that organises that group. This then means that you might have a group of students who are working on a particular project, and they can set up a forum or a chat or a social stream, and it's just to do with their particular work that they're doing. Only the group members that you have set up within the class can view that information. The other two tools that are available are surveys and polls. They are a level 1 or a lower level collaborative document or tool on this platform, and they allow students to respond to a question, and the answers to the question are not displayed like in the chat or social stream, but they're displayed in a diagrammatic form. So, for example, if you wanted to put a poll together eliciting students' ideas or responses about a particular topic, you would set up the poll with the answers that were available, and each person would then vote, and that might then show that one particular idea was more important or had more value or more interest in this class than another. It gives students very much a feeling of being part of a group and gets them into the association ideas of belonging to a group, contributing to a group, and having a substantial role in the group's decision making. The last two documents are collaborative docs and a wiki. Now, a wiki is, I've set up a wiki here. When you go into the wiki, you can post a question or write a lot of information about a particular topic, and then many other times throughout the day or over the next couple of weeks, different authors within the group can change or add information to that page or that wiki page. Now, this group here, this page here, gives you the compare slide, which allows you to look at the alterations or the additions that have been made, and it puts it in a stream of date of order of when it happens and shows you what has been changed by whatever author. Now, the problem with a wiki, or the limitation of a wiki, is that only one person can work on the document at one time. It's not a document where live people can work on the document and those changes can be seen as everyone is doing that. The next document that is really very valuable is the collaborative docs. If you set up a collaborative docs on your page, I've set up one here called Food Trends. It loads up a page that all students that are members of the group can then contribute to and write on. I have just written a couple of sentences here on food trends, and you can see that my contribution is highlighted in pink. As more people write and the document becomes larger, each of the group members, which are over here, will have a different colour that is highlighting their work. Now, it doesn't matter how many people are working on this document at the one time. If you are typing something and somebody else is online and they're typing, you can see what they're doing in real time. So it gives a very good collaborative feel to the document that it is being developed with everybody who is contributing at that time. That's just some of the tools that are available to be used on our homepage. So you need to have a little play around with them, become familiar with them, and the more that you use them, the better you will become, and your students will get quite used to using collaborative style communication in all the activities that they're doing in your class. All of these online collaborative tools are great for student engagement and very interesting to learn how to use them. But there must be a reason to collaborate that is clearly identified by the teacher and clearly seen by the students. If they can do it on their own, or the collaboration activity has no relevance to the outcome, then it will be dismissed as a pointless aspect of the task. Collaboration activities must have relevance. Collaboration skills need to be taught. Skills such as listening, conflict resolution, fair teamwork, question development. To develop collaboration skills in students, teachers must ensure that students gain practice at helping each other's learning, that they practice verbalizing their learning and writing their learning and assisting other students with what is correct or another point of view or justification of their answer. The teachers have to be the designers of the activity, and they have to carefully design each aspect to minimize freeloading. They must have authentic learning situations, which may include contributing to every group's ideas and thoughts to guide the discussion of the outcome of the activities. The teachers have to take part. The teacher will take on the role of a coach rather than instructor and must pose questions and then answer it for a social stream or a forum. This models to the student the correct way of collaborating. They must ask other students questions about their post to stimulate discussion. And finally, the collaborative environment has to be safe for students. They have to not have a fear of contributing, so they must feel confident in their ability to contribute as a group and confident that their ideas are going to be accepted. In conclusion, as a teacher, what you need to do is follow this framework for incorporating collaborative activities into your teaching. Choose what type of collaboration you want to do and at what level is appropriate. Is it going to be practicing collaboration skills or participating in an interdependent learning activity? Then choose an online tool to assist with the goal of teaching that activity. Become familiar with these online tools so that you know how they work and what skills they will contribute to teaching the students. Set very clear guidelines and expectations. Have rules about postings. Have rules about what you will do with postings. So if you say that you're going to respond to each student's post, then you have to do that to set up the right environment for collaborative work. Model and participate correct strategies. It is important to prepare students for being part of a team. Incorporate some kind of accountability. Minimize opportunities for free riding. This can be done by having small groups, very meaningful tasks, academically liked students grouped together, and remove the I agree syndrome by scaffolding the type of responses required by students. Promote opportunities where they have to think about something themselves and then justify it. Set guidelines and give them smaller groups to contribute to rather than the whole class. In terms of spreading the collaboration word amongst your teaching community at school, a great idea is to set up a pineapple chart. This is a system that allows teachers to invite one another into their classrooms for informal observation. The chart is set up in some location where teachers go on a daily basis, the lounge, the coffee room, or maybe even an online system, wherever teachers' mailboxes live in your schools. Each teacher, if they are doing something exciting or they've found a collaborative tool they like or any other tool, they can post it on when they are doing that tool in their class, what time, what class. It may only be for 5 or 10 minutes. This then allows other teachers to come in and see it in action and then think about ways that they can use it within their classroom. The key is to become familiar with collaboration, to know its value in education, and then to spread the word.